What would happen if the Earth, right at this very moment, just stopped spinning? We're talking about a complete instantaneous halt. It's a thought experiment that sounds like something out of a sci-fi blockbuster, but have you ever truly considered the chain of events that would unfold? It's not just about day turning into a very, very long day. The consequences are far more dramatic and, frankly, catastrophic. The delicate balance that allows life to thrive on this beautiful blue marble is maintained by a constant, powerful motion we barely even notice. So, let's buckle up and dive into the physics of this planetary emergency. Before we get to the chaos, let's appreciate the speed we're dealing with. Right now, if you're near the equator, the Earth is spinning at a staggering 1,670 kilometers per hour. That's faster than the speed of sound. Even if you're further north or south, you're still cruising along at hundreds of kilometers per hour. We don't feel it because everything around us, the atmosphere, the oceans, the ground beneath our feet, is moving along with us. It's like being in a car traveling at a constant speed on a perfectly smooth road. You don't really feel the motion until something changes. And that brings us to the first and most immediate consequence of our planet hitting the brakes. The moment the Earth stops, the law of inertia kicks in hard. Inertia is the principle that an object in motion stays in motion. While the solid planet is stopped, everything not securely bolted down to the bedrock, and I mean everything, would continue moving at that incredible speed. People, animals, trees, buildings, cars, even the topsoil would be instantly flung eastward at over 1,600 kilometers per hour. It would be like being in a car that crashes into a brick wall, but on a global scale. Everything on the surface would be scoured clean, creating a supersonic whirlwind of debris. Nothing would survive this initial cataclysm. It would be the most profound and instantaneous wipeout imaginable. The sheer kinetic energy would be devastating, turning the surface of our planet into a blender of rock, metal, and organic matter. It's a grim picture, but the laws of physics are unforgiving. And that's just what's happening on land. The real showstopper would be the oceans. Imagine a bucket of water. If you spin it and then suddenly stop, what happens? The water sloshes out violently. Now, scale that up to the size of our planet's oceans, the Pacific, the Atlantic, all the world's water, which has been moving along with the Earth's spin, would suddenly surge forward. This wouldn't be a normal tsunami. We're talking about a global mega-tsunami. Waves hundreds of kilometers high would wash over the continents at incredible speeds. They would travel so far inland that they would eventually meet, covering virtually all land masses in a matter of hours. Coastal cities like New York, Tokyo, and London would be submerged in an instant, but the devastation wouldn't stop there. These colossal waves would scour the land down to the bedrock, erasing mountains and carving new canyons. The entire surface of the planet would be reshaped by this titanic sloshing of the oceans. It would be a worldwide flood of biblical proportions, but driven by pure physics. The sheer force would be enough to pulverize anything left standing after the initial inertial shock. The world as we know it would literally be washed away. But the destruction doesn't stop with the land and the sea. What about the air we breathe? The atmosphere, just like the oceans and everything on the surface, is also moving with the Earth. If the planet stopped, our atmosphere would continue its momentum. This would create winds unlike anything we have ever experienced. We're not talking about a Category 5 hurricane. We're talking about hyperhurricanes, global winds whipping around the planet at speeds exceeding almost 600 kilometers per hour. These winds would generate so much friction with the surface that they would likely ignite, creating global firestorms. The air itself would become an abrasive, scouring force, stripping away anything the mega tsunamis might have missed. These superwinds would also cause massive and rapid erosion, pulverizing rock and reshaping the landscape on an unimaginable scale. The sky would be filled with dust and debris, blocking out the sun and turning the daytime into a perpetual stormy twilight. The very air would become a weapon of mass destruction, ensuring that no corner of the planet remained untouched by the catastrophe. Assuming anything could possibly survive these initial horrors, the long-term consequences would seal the planet's fate. With the Earth no longer spinning, our day-night cycle would vanish. Instead, one side of the planet would be locked in perpetual daylight, facing the sun, while the other side would be plunged into an endless, frozen night. On the sun-facing side, temperatures would soar. Without the relief of night, the surface would bake under the relentless solar radiation, boiling away any remaining water and turning the landscape into a scorched, barren desert far hotter than anything we know today. Meanwhile, on the dark side, temperatures would plummet to hundreds of degrees below zero. It would become a frozen wasteland, an ice-covered expanse where the atmosphere itself could freeze and fall as snow. The thin strip of land between these two extremes, the twilight zone, might seem like a potential haven, but it would be battered by constant violent storms as the hot air from the day side clashes with the cold air from the night side. Ecosystems would completely collapse. Photosynthesis would cease on the dark side, and life on the light side would be cooked. The Earth's magnetic field, which is generated by the spinning of its molten core, would also likely weaken or disappear. Without it, we would be exposed to deadly solar winds and cosmic radiation, stripping away what's left of our atmosphere and making the surface utterly inhospitable. From the quiet stillness of space, our once vibrant, dynamic planet would now look like a scarred, half-burnt, half-frozen relic. The swirling clouds would be gone, the blue oceans would be either boiled away or frozen solid, and the green continents would be a uniform, lifeless brown and white. It's a terrifying scenario, but it serves as a powerful reminder. The simple, constant rotation of our planet, something we take for granted every single day, is a fundamental pillar of our existence. It drives our weather, our climate, our oceans, and the very rhythm of life itself. It's the silent, steady heartbeat of our world. Our planet's motion keeps life stable, a delicate and beautiful dance of physics that makes everything we know and love possible. Thank you so much for joining me on this thought experiment. If you enjoy exploring these kinds of cosmic what-ifs, be sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you do not miss our next journey into the wonders and terrors of the universe. What mind-bending topic should we explore next? Let me know in the comments below. Until next time, stay curious.